and swung yourself up around and
Okay.
pulled yourself as the truck was leaving. So you did get the shin bones a couple times.
Want to practice now?
No.
While new fire trucks may have a little better technology and more protection from the elements, Grandma's got her perks.
Give you a little extra air.
Okay,
You don't see that too often. It was a nice truck to drive. Great in the summer, a little tough in the winter.
And having this truck home means a lot to Tom.
It's something that you want to just keep passing it down to the generation. This is going to be his home right here in this door. At night, the lights come on in front of the trucks. This one has a double light for at night, so it shines.
Unlike Tom, though, Grandma's not on active duty anymore. She'll continue to enjoy the luxury life of parades and fancy events.
In Greenville, we still allow candy yet.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be somebody in where you're sitting and the guy driving will toss a few out once in a while.
While Grandma was a little camera shy for us, Tom says her first big event, being restored, will be in August for their summer send-off. Until then,
I think it's just been an honor to be able to do this all these years. You know, he gave a lot of stuff up a lot of times to be here and do this, because when the pager went off, you left. If you want to do it and you feel good about it, then you're going to be here, and that's why I'm still here. You know, I'm 72, but I'm still going. So.
And in total, restoration efforts cost over $50,000, and the department paid for it all through fundraisers and donations. Now, there are a few more tweaks before Grandma's big day in August, but again, they are excited she'll be ready to celebrate the department's 50th anniversary next year. You can still see Grandma, though, if you stop by the station, so you don't have to wait until then. But they're hoping to also have a grand opening later this year as well, as the department was just built and they had to delay everything with the pandemic. Now, you can see that full story again and some more pictures on our website. But still to come, sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart and in your house. A Wisconsin woman has the largest Winnie the Pooh collection in the world. We're going to meet her.
Comfortable temperatures as you step outside today. No jacket needed, actually. Very calm weather right now. A few scattered sprinkles out there. Some heavier rain up to the north. I'll let you know if that's going to be tracking its way down here towards us and approximately the timing. But if you're taking that dog out for a walk, this morning is just fantastic all day today, to be honest with you. Temperatures very comfortable into those mid to upper 70s. Meet Scarlett. She's absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, though, she passed away last year at age 16, so remembering her for Paula, the heavy heart there. As we go through our week and into the weekend, that heat really cranks up. I'll let you know how hot we're going to get. Stick with us.
You're watching NBC 26 Today with Abigail Hankey and meteorologist Brittany Merlot.
5:15 this morning, a Wisconsin woman has the world's largest collection, more than 20,000 items from a cartoon many of us know. Digital reporter James Groh takes us inside this world record collection.
I'm standing in the Guinness World Record largest Winnie the Pooh collection, over 20,000 items, and it's in Vernon, Wisconsin.
These were actually from a claw machine in Shanghai. This is a Tigger guitar from the 90s. You know, people call me the crazy Winnie the Pooh lady, and I would say that that's probably correct. I definitely associate with the character.
That's Deb Hoffman. She lives in Waukesha County and has the world's largest collection of Winnie the Pooh memorabilia.
Okay, this was my holy grail. I looked for this guy for 9 years, and he is number 20,000 in the collection.
You won't believe what she was offered.
I've been offered $25,000 for it. I did not pay that for it.
Some of the stuff she bought at thrift stores for pennies. Others cost a pretty penny. Her estimated value?
I'm thinking it has to be over $1 million.
Deb started collecting Winnie the Pooh memorabilia around 30 years ago when she was in her 20s. She wanted to buy this specific novelty phone. The rest is history.
I love the hunt of having to find something.
So what's her end game? Eventually, it will all be donated.
When I go to the big honeypot in the sky, where is it all going? It's going to Canada.
White River, Canada. That's the place where the bear that inspired the Winnie the Pooh series was found. But until then, she will keep collecting.
These are from the 1940s. They're basically in mint condition.
In Vernon, James Groh.
That is a lot of Winnie the Pooh.
That is. That's crazy. I saw some Eeyore too. Tigger the Tiger. Who was your favorite?
Definitely Winnie, probably. You?
Yeah. I don't know. Eeyore or Tigger. I liked them all. They were fun.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations to her. That's a lot of stuff. And worth a lot too. Good stuff. All right. Cloudy skies out there. The sun is trying to make its way through there as it rises here this morning. Yesterday, temperatures ranged from Menominee hitting 71 degrees all the way to Fond du Lac hitting 82 degrees. Here in Green Bay, we clocked in at 77 degrees. Same thing as Chicago and Des Moines. But look at that heat just off to the west of us. Don't worry, it's headed our way. Temperatures this morning really feeling the difference into the Northwoods, Aconto and Menominee, about 15 to 20 degrees warmer out there as you're into those upper 50s right now. Below 50s and upper 40s across the lake shore this morning with some dew points kind of matching that. So we are seeing chances for some patchy fog out there as that relative humidity is near 100% into Manitowoc and also Antigo. But overall visibility is not as bad as it was yesterday with that dense fog out there. Winds at about 3 to 7 miles per hour moving right now out of the south. They're going to stay calm out there today. A little bit of scattered showers building in, especially pushing in towards Sturgeon Bay and into Door County here this morning. Nothing major though. As we take a look off to the northwest, we are looking at some more scattered showers building over there. But overall, we are kind of in the middle of the two rain events, and that's because this high pressure is holding all of that down to the south, and then the low pressure up here is, yes, it's going to bring us some chances for some very light stray scattered showers as we go through our afternoon and evening today. So overall, though, a mix of sunshine and clouds, winds continuing to pump in the heat out of the south. Between 2 to 8, we could see a few scattered sprinkles out there. We're not looking at any thunderstorms building here again today. There are chances for it, but those chances seem to really stay off into northwestern Wisconsin, and just a trace of rain expected today. Here's the bigger story is that heat. Today, comfortable into those mid to upper 70s. Tomorrow, we start to crank things up into the mid to upper 80s, and it doesn't stop there. Look what we have in store as we push into the weekend. We have 90s moving in for us. So enjoy today. Tomorrow, winds start to pick up a little bit more, a little bit breezier out of the west, a few more scattered showers, a little bit more of a storm chance as we go through tomorrow evening. Nothing should turn severe, but we could see some gustier winds with those as we go through our evening tomorrow. Overall, though, today, enjoy it. It's just fantastic and beautiful. Picture perfect Wednesday. Tonight, temperatures falling down into those mid to upper 50s under partly cloudy skies. And then tomorrow, there's that heat starting to arrive here for us, anywhere from the low 80s by the lakeshore to the upper 80s into the Fox Valley. And here's those 90s. Look at that. 89 for you on Friday, 91 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, we're still hanging on to the 90s. And why not continue that as we go into next week as well? Now, not going to lie, the storm chances definitely start to build as that heat and humidity build. By Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we could see some heavy downpours and some significant severe weather in the forecast too.
Okay, at least we're pushing it to the end of the weekend.
Exactly. The weekend looks great.
All right, thank you. Now, a Wisconsin woman is being called a fairy godmother.
Always do for others, don't always do for yourself.
As she gifts girls and women with dresses fit for a queen. That story's next. 5:23 this morning. A Wisconsin woman is being called the fairy godmother of her town. That's because she gifts teen girls with prom gowns. Andrea Albers spoke with the woman who does it all without a magic wand.
In this farmhouse, stuffed with sparkle and lace, is the fairy godmother of Holmen, Wisconsin.
This is just not even a fourth of what I have.
Devoted to making dreams come true.
It makes them happy. One little girl says, I've never been a princess before. She was twirling around, and it was just, that's the thanks I get. I love it.
Prom gowns and wedding dresses for free or a fraction of the price.
I don't get rich on this. No. I do it just to help girls. And the money that the girls pay for some of the dresses goes to pay for the storage. So it's not a get-rich thing.
It's more like break even, if you can. This started with a small collection when Judy Wolff saw a second life for her daughter's discarded formal dresses.
Ooh.
Many of these gowns are donated.
I like that.
Or Judy buys them herself. She's become a self-taught dry cleaning whiz and an expert seamstress. She's even known to do alterations for free.
There's not a dress that you can't use. If it's got something wrong with it, you can tear it apart and make it into something else.
and she tucks lessons between the tulle.
And I say it right to them. All I ask is that you pay it forward. Give the dress to someone else when you're done with it.
She wants the girls to learn how to give back, so she's spending time teaching them to sew tiny gowns for stillborn babies or preemies that don't survive.
You don't want to get gratitude or anything, you know. What I think is really nice is the photographers that come in and take pictures. They did that for my daughter. Took a lot of pictures of the baby and stuff too.
Some of Judy's wedding dresses have stubborn stains, or the style may be a little too dated, so she transforms them into these miniature angel gowns. Something that was not available the day her granddaughter was stillborn.
And when I saw that poor little girl with this diaper 3 times bigger than her, laying wrapped in a blanket, I couldn't believe it.
Teaching comes easily to Judy.
It is healing. It helps.
She used to be a nurse aide in the school system until she was put on permanent disability in 2002.
It's been hard. I mean, I've got a cupboard full of medicine that I have to take and stuff. Let's see.
Judy is plagued by health problems because she was a 9/11 volunteer.
That was when the towers came down. That was over there too.
Working about 4 blocks from Ground Zero, where she and thousands of others were exposed to toxic dust.
The numbers are just so high. Just within a week, just last week, there was 5 of them passed away with cancer.
And while she cannot earn a paycheck like she used to, Judy calls the work she is doing worth it, and says it has helped her navigate the peaks and valleys of PTSD.
I still don't regret going. I mean, I look at all the people that I was able to help, even though I'm, you know, sick. But there was a lot of people I could help while I was there.
Her perspective is rare and refreshing. So before our conversation was over, we had to ask Judy where that seed of volunteerism got started.
My dad was a volunteer firefighter. And my mom always, you know, taught us, you know, always do for others, you know, don't always do for yourself.
Again, that was Andrea Albers reporting. To date, Judy's given away 500 dresses. What an inspiring story, though.
She's been through so much and just so strong. It's nice to see.
It is, and what else is nice to see is obviously some warm weather.
Oh, summer is on its way. Oh, that's for sure. Yesterday we got just a little bit of rain, just a trace or so. We are still down quite a bit. Now, as we go through our day today, it's looking fantastic this morning. You might want to grab the sunglasses. No jacket needed whatsoever. And then, of course, highs today rising into those upper 70s. A few scattered showers are possible as we head through this evening, so maybe have the umbrella on standby, but no major downpours really expected. Allergy forecast today, moderate level of tree and grass pollen out there. And if you're wondering when a good time is to cut your grass, today maybe not the best with the showers moving through, and tomorrow, but as we push through the weekend, looking pretty good out there. So chances for a little bit of rain do spike tomorrow night, and we could see a storm or two. So if you're headed out for your fishing forecast, we're looking pretty good this weekend.
Keeping you connected in Northeast Wisconsin. You're watching NBC 26 Today.
Coming up, a Green Bay meat processing plant will have a late start today after an international cyber attack on JBS. Plus,
suddenly there's this warm, fuzzy feeling of, oh, I don't have to be so closed up.
how a Northeast Wisconsin community is celebrating diversity. We're going to hear from a pastor on Pride Month. And only in Wisconsin as these cows help police herd in a runaway driver. Good morning and thanks for joining us this Wednesday. I'm Abigail Hinkie.
Yeah, I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Happy Wednesday to you. I can't wait to hear about those cows.
Yeah, it's a pretty moving story.
Like it. This weather is pretty interesting as well. So we are seeing temperatures right now warming, especially by the Great Lakes and also into Minnesota. We're about 7 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday morning. Really feeling the difference though, near 20 degrees warmer into the Northwoods as you are into those upper 50s right now. Still some mid 40s though into Pembine, 57 degrees here into Green Bay, 50 along the lakeshore. Now, patchy fog out there in some places, especially up into Pembine, only a half a mile visibility right now because our dew point is matching our temperature. That's why we get the cloud on the ground, right? And the wind's not moving very much at all, only about 3 to 6 miles per hour. A few scattered showers pushing into Door County, light sprinkles off towards Clintonville and Shawano. We are looking at mostly cloudy skies right now, but that sun is going to make its way through it. It will peek through today. Chances for a few more scattered sprinkles will move in around 1 o'clock, kind of fizzling out by 5 or 6 or so. Nothing major expected in the terms of weather today. Very comfortable out there with highs hitting 78 degrees. But that heat and that humidity is going to be building. I'm going to let you know how hot it's going to feel in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you. Well, the world's largest meat company says most of its plants will be up and running by today. Hackers targeted JBS over the weekend, which forced the company to shut down some of its operations. The company is the largest meat processor and accounts for 25% of beef processing in the U.S. The White House says JBS received a ransom demand from a criminal organization likely based in Russia. The company's CEO says they are using all available resources to deal with the threat. Now, JBS USA's Green Bay plant announced there will be a 4-hour delay for production today. This comes after it halted production entirely yesterday. The company has not said the closure is directly related to the cyber attack. But the cyber attack on JBS raises the important question of why cyber attacks occur and how they can be prevented. NBC 26 spoke with cybersecurity experts from the consulting firm Progent about how businesses can avoid similar attacks. They say oftentimes cyber attacks occur when an employee unknowingly clicks on something that allows attackers into their system.
Anytime you get an email and it comes in and it's something that just strikes you as slightly different, they've never asked for this before. I never seen them spell my name this way. They always refer to me as something else. Stop.
Now, they recommend rotating passwords, setting up 2-factor authentication, and training employees on cybersecurity. For that full story, just head to our website, NBC26.com. But the demand for cybersecurity experts, that continues to rise. NBC 26's Eric Kress looks at the next generation trying to fight back.
With so many of us working from home and still needing to stay connected during the pandemic, business owners are starting to see the value in making sure their systems aren't hacked into. At Fox Valley Technical College, instructor Joe Wetzel says students' interest in their computer security courses continues to rise. In fact, Wetzel says many of his students will have jobs lined up before graduating, as business owners come to the realization that their systems could be compromised without a specialist in-house.
Right now, everybody's really starting to see that security is something that's needed. And people in this profession has been screaming this for the last 10 years. You need to have somebody on staff that knows security.
And at UWO, professors are also noticing a similar trend. This year alone, they've created 3 new cybersecurity courses in reaction to local business leaders needing to fill voids. In Green Bay, Eric Kress, NBC 26.
Thank you, Eric. Now, Cathy's house, a hospital guest house in Wauwatosa, is about to move into its new $12 million facility, but not before it got a helping hand from an Eagle Scout. Andrew McDonough decided for his Scout project that he would help out the nonprofit by purchasing and assembling outdoor furniture for the new facility. He and his troop raised more than $1,000 for the project and delivered the furniture Tuesday. He got the idea after his dad stayed in a similar facility in Minnesota after a double transplant surgery.
I wanted to do something to help other people like him here in Wisconsin.
What drew his family to make our outdoor furniture for us, that just really warmed my heart.
Now, Cathy's house will open its new facility later this month, and leaders expect to be able to double the number of families it serves with that new space to nearly 3,000 a year. Still to come, how 2 Green Bay BOOYAH players are getting back in game shape after having their last 2 college seasons canceled. That story and more in sports.
Nice warm temperatures. Today is just perfect if you ask me. Sunshine out there, highs reaching those mid to upper 70s. A lot of sun out there, UV index at 7, so you can get for sunburn within 30 minutes. So put that suntan lotion on. Of course, winds not too breezy today. We could see a few gusts about 15 miles per hour later on this afternoon, but overall a pretty calm day out there. Chances for rain do move in tomorrow. I'll have those details. Also, the heat is really going to bake your garden. I'll let you know how hot it's going to get coming up. Stick with us.
And now sports with Brandon Kinnock.
Let's get things started with some summer baseball this morning. After clashing Monday in Fond du Lac, the BOOYAH and Dock Spiders met again last night, this time in Green Bay, for the BOOYAH's home opener. Pretty good crowd on hand for a Tuesday night, especially a rainy Tuesday night. And yes, a BOOYAH home game means Flash the Bat Dog is back in action. He alone is worth the price of admission. Second inning, not a good one for Green Bay. This one of 4 errors in the inning, all on shortstop David Vasquez. Dock Spiders score 4 runs to take the early advantage, with 4 more coming in the third. Gus Collins, a rip to left. That'll get by and go to the wall to score not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Fondy runs. Collins credited with a triple and an error on the left fielder. And the Dock Spiders defense getting it done as well. Matthew Rivera snares the liner, goes to first to double up the runner. Dock Spiders win at 10-3.
Definitely, so, a couple of nerves, little butterflies I let off. So, that was definitely got a little jitters, but just glad to be back out here.
Well, yesterday I spoke with a couple of BOOYAH players who are still waiting to get back to pre-pandemic life. Nadir Lewis of Princeton and Phil Healy of Columbia haven't played competitive baseball in nearly a year now because the Ivy League still hasn't returned back to action in any sport. It's the only NCAA Division I college yet to get back to playing. The last time Healy and Lewis suited up in their college uniforms, early March of 2020, and because of that, they say this summer will be extra important to their development as young baseball players.
It's been tough. I think the biggest adjustment that I have to make this summer is learning how to compete again. And COVID was a tough year, although I got in the gym and was able to keep up that way. Not being on a field was definitely different.
We played 7 games my sophomore year and then none this past year. It's just a lot of big gap, and I feel like he changed a lot from 18 to 20, so just huge to get the at-bats, get back under my feet, back in game shape.
Lewis went 1 for 4 last night, and the BOOYAHs lost to Fond du Lac. Healy was the starting pitcher on Monday, and he took the loss in that one. To the show we go. Brewers and Tigers at American Family Field. First inning, Colton Wong starts the month off right. His first of 2 home runs on the night gives the Crew a 1-0 lead after 1. The Tigers, though, respond with a 6-run second inning, including a 2-run homer from former Brewer Jonathan Scope, seen here. Tigers lead the rest of the way. They win it 10-7. And the Bucks' second-round playoff matchup is now set, and what a matchup it will be. The Nets beat the Celtics 123-109 last night, clinching that series in 5 games. James Harden leading the way for Brooklyn with 34 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. That means Brooklyn and Milwaukee will face off in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Game 1 there will be Saturday in Brooklyn. Tip time still to be determined. This will be one of the most anticipated second-round series in recent memory. You've got 2 teams who are among the favorites to win it all with legitimate chances at a title this year and so much star power. The last 3 MVP awards are in that series between Giannis with 2, James Harden with 1, and a 4th MVP award in that series as well with Kevin Durant, who won it back in 2014. Should be a lot of fun. That's all for sports this morning. Have a great day.
Thank you, Brandon. As you head out the door this morning, it is feeling pretty comfortable out there into those upper 50s, even some low 60s this morning. Mix of sun and clouds, mostly cloudy skies here at the Bay. A little bit of showers rolling through into Door County as well. Rain up to the north. Yeah, that's going to be headed down towards us as we go through this afternoon and evening. Chances for some spotty showers do start to move in. This is not a heavy downpour whatsoever, though, so enjoy those mid to upper 70s. I know Scarlett would have loved to be out there in those. She passed away 16 years ago, unfortunately. So we're going to remember her today as we look at this heat wave, you guys. Are you ready for summer? Because it's on the way. I'll have those details coming up.
You're watching NBC 26 Today with Abigail Hankey and meteorologist Brittany Merlot.
Welcome back this morning. Pride is so much more than a rainbow flag. June is a month-long celebration of the members of our LGBTQ+ community all around the nation. This morning, NBC 26's Jenna Bree tells us how Door County is celebrating Pride Month.
All I'm saying is I want to love who I want to love.
Cathy Grier founded Open Door Pride 5 years ago. The mission to celebrate diversity with inclusion for all.
We're all going to be different in something. And to understand that the fear comes from the unknown, and the more you know, the more you could say, oh, well, that's not so scary after all.
Yesterday, Sturgeon Bay Mayor David Ward proclaimed this June Open Door Pride Month.
We're taxpayers, we're here, we're not derelicts, we are not causing problems, and it's really sad to even have to say that.
Open Door Pride had to cancel the annual festival last year due to COVID, but this year they will be having a mix